I scoured the internet looking for just Raider reporters to give me their particular. I love the guys who cover the Niners, but I kind of had enough with all of them. I want something different. I want
Dick Tafer.
Exactly.
You want a Tashawn Reed.
Exactly. It's like going to a new restaurant with your lady. You know what I mean? I want to try something different. So I scoured the internet. I found all kinds of stuff. We'll get to the Niners and the Raiders joint practice. And my God, Kyle Shanahan at a podium. You're a politician. I don't trust anything that comes out of your mouth anymore. You called Brock Purdy the real deal. You're in love with Jimmy Garoppolo. You said both are two top 15 quarterbacks. What the hell are you smoking, old man?
Well, Kyle Shanahan, let's just stop the cap.
I mean, Jesus.
He said Jimmy Garoppolo's the best quarterback we've had since Steve Young. And I'm saying Jeff Garcia on line 1, Colin Kaepernick on line 2. Jimmy Garoppolo's not better than those two guys. It's not even debatable to me. It's not even debatable.
The way we've tried to rewrite the Kaepernick years it's honestly... It's disgusting.
Well, no.
Because those games happened.
No, those games happened. But then they say, the last year, you get to see he wasn't an NFL quarterback.
But what about the year and a half?
You look at the context, and you look at the personnel around him.
I mean, come on.
The dude threw 16 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions, throwing to Jerry Curley. And Torrey, what's his name? Torrey Smith, who was already checked out, who stole a bag from the Niners.
If I say the name Carlos Hyde to people, they laugh.
They laugh.
If I said Brock Purdy had Carlos Hyde and was throwing to Jeremy Curley, would anyone say, man, Brock Purdy's being set up for success?
Well, you know what's going on right now? These disclaimers. Every time we report about Brock Purdy, it's Brock Purdy going against the first team defense. Where was that last season?
I just...
No, hold on. Where was that last season for Trey Lance? Because I keep bringing this up. He had no kid on training camp, half of it, with the hamstring injury. Debo was out of shape. We all acknowledge that. Debo acknowledged it. So we're not saying anything new.
I know. I saw it firsthand.
And that defense was a top 2 unit in the league.
I came on here and I said, Debo gets 0 separation. Everyone's like, I'm like, he's my favorite player. But do you want me to be honest or do you want me to lie to you? Do you want me to pull a Shanahan and go to a podium and tell you that he had 2 top 15 quarterbacks and he let one of them go?
Yeah, well, he would have never drafted Trey Lance if Jimmy Garoppolo was a top 15 quarterback. He would have never drafted Trey Lance if he felt that strongly about Jimmy Garoppolo. He would have never flirted with Kirk Cousins. He would have never flirted with Matthew Stafford. He would have never flirted with Tom Brady. He would have never flirted with one of these other quarterbacks.
What was his assessment on Brady then? If he says he had 2 top 15 quarterbacks, but he deemed Tom Brady not good enough to be on his team. Like, there's so many inconsistencies.
Again,
I love Shanny in terms of play calling. At a podium, just less is more. Less is more.
What about the Max Crosby stuff? Max Crosby was talking trash to Shanahan because in their interview process, when Crosby was in the NFL draft, he was at the combine, and Chris Kosaric was going crazy on him. Now, they blame Chris Kosaric for that because he was saying, look, man, I learned from an old coach, you got to kind of scare these kids, and you want to test them or whatnot. So they basically, Crosby was like, these Niner dudes are clowns. They're clowns, so he talks that talk, and he remembers.
I kind of love Max Crosby.
I do like Max Crosby.
I kind of love him.
I like what he said. Okay. We don't prepare all year just to not make the playoffs. I don't do this stuff all year to not make the playoffs.
And so like another thing that I noticed is a lot of comparisons last week or so, like Brock Purdy to Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers and how they handle this. Dog, I watched episode 1 of Hard Knocks. The guys were going up. By the way, Garrett Wilson. I am betting so much money on Garrett Wilson this year.
He's a stud.
Just his whole personality. That guy has the prerequisite personality that I believe to be that's Hall of Fame intangibles. I don't know if he'll end up being, but his personality is A1.
Honestly, I can't believe Ohio State lost to Michigan with him at Olave at wide receiver.
And Sauce Gardner.
And CJ Gardner.
Also, I love Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh's a stud.
I don't know if he can be a head coach, but
we're going to find. Well, Jeff Ulbrich, former 49ers linebacker, is losing his mind.
53, Hawaii?
He's losing his mind.
I know.
Taking shots at Belichick and the Patriots.
How about when he was showing the film? Okay, so we're all over the place, but Hard Knocks, it's Aaron Rodgers' practice. They're showing the film, and he's talking to his defense. Ulbrich, he's like, that's who we have on our team, guys. So just stay in the game.
Stay in the game.
He's showing a throw. He's like, there's no throw there. And look at this throw. He hits him right there. Aaron Rodgers, by the way, the more and more, you're right. Yeah, we should have done everything.
Made the trade.
Yeah.
Made the trade.
You were right.
I would have dealt with him.
You were right.
But you know what? You were right about Brady. You're right about. Here's the problem.
It just
Shanahan.
100%.
Shanahan.
And that's why I keep coming back to you. Dog, you're over at a podium and you're talking up Jimmy G, all this stuff. This year is forget the quarterback, as in Brock Purdy or Trey Lance or Sam Darnold. It is all about you better figure this thing out. Because I'm watching Aaron Rodgers, and I'm telling you right now, I know it's Hard Knocks. I know it's going to hype you up. they're winning 12 to 14 games. You think I'm kidding? That guy looks completely rejuvenated, does he not?
He's doing some bad. I got a difference.
He's making Nathaniel Hackett look like Mike Holmgren.
Yeah, but you know what though? With Aaron Rodgers, as his fly just keeps flying around here.
I had the same thing happen to me earlier.
Bugging me. Shoe fly, shoe, don't bother me.
It's like Westworld. We're dead in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nasty. They're kind of going out of their way to kiss his ass to make sure he's...
Of course they are.
As soon as they first some adversity...
It's Aaron Rodgers. He's the most insecure guy ever.
As soon as they first some adversity, let me see how he reacts.
Yeah, but Ponce, I contrasted that with watching the ending, because I had cut it off, the Johnny Manziel doc.
Oh.
Anybody who compares Trey Lance to Johnny Manziel...
Wait, are people doing that?
It's the first off, you're an idiot if you're doing that.
There's not people doing that.
Yes, there are people doing that.
No, there's not.
And honestly, watching the Johnny Manziel doc, I feel offended by the way that everyone around him treated him. And also, Johnny deserves a huge slice of the culpability pie. His own family, like it was honestly disgusting enabler behavior from layer to layer, whether we're talking about Cliff Kingsbury, whether we're talking about Sumlin, whether we're talking about the people around him at Texas A&M, Johnny, his buddies.
How about the Kingsbury look?
I just let him do his thing.
I just let him do his thing. If he's hungover, I just let him do his thing.
And he's like bragging about watching zero film in the. I'm just saying, of all the sports.
By the way, that doc.
The Agents of Clown too.
It felt like Johnny was begging for forgiveness, and it's like, you know what? You were an enabled little spoiled brat.
100%.
You went out there.
Even if you weren't rich.
Because you went out there and you got caught up in, I'm taking photos with Drake. I'm taking photos 100%. With LeBron. I'm hanging out with superstars. I got $100,000 under my bed. I don't have to do anything. I'm Johnny Manziel. I don't watch film. I don't do this. I can do whatever the hell I want. Stop it. He's a legend for that 1 year. But there's some racial elements to that. And I'm just thinking to myself, boy, people thought they had the great white hope in Johnny Manziel, and they did everything to turn their back on Johnny Manziel and let him do whatever the hell he want to do. Not too many people get away with that.
I totally agree with you.
And so I'm looking at it, I'm just like, I don't feel sorry for you. You blew everything.
The family faked a heart thing. The family faked a heart thing so that he could get out of taking a drug test. And like right there, and this goes back to, you see this in a lot of situations. Johnny's not the only one, but like family doing enabler behavior because that's going to be the breadwinner. Yeah. That's going to guy who's going to bring the gravy train. And so like all of this, like Johnny Manziel versus Trey Lance, like anyone who's making any of those comparisons, like honestly, you're insulting. Yeah. You're insulting Trey Lance's family and Trey Lance the individual. At what point has this guy proven that he's not watching plays, studying the playbook? It sounds like he's taking this quantum leap forward. And honestly, you know what? Shame on the 49ers for leaving him for dead. I think the whole reason they brought in Sam Darnold, the more and more I've thought about this, the whole reason they brought in Sam Darnold is because they were ready to write this guy off at every single... I mean, come on. When you draft somebody, all right, and you move what you did to go get that person, you got to put the best infrastructure around him. And the fact that you were willing to literally hit the parachute button so quickly, to me, shows me you lack your own convictions.
Well, Vic Tafur tweeted yesterday. Vic Tafur, longtime Raiders beat writer. SF Chronicle, now The Athletic, now covers.
I'm on fire this morning. I'm sorry, B.
You are.
I'm so fired up.
Slow down for a second. I'm slowing down because you're getting uptight. You're getting upset. There's no reason to be upset. It's a Friday.
Honestly, Johnny Manziel disgusted me, B. It really did. It disgusted me.
No, listen, I wasn't impressed with that documentary whatsoever. Yeah, you had a couple kids.
I wanted to slap him.
But you know what? I don't even want to say what I really want to say because it will turn some people off. But I just thought, boy, what if that was Marcus Mariota? Could he get away with things like that? What if that was Caleb Williams? What if that was, Michael?
We talk about Jamarcus Russell, for example. Like the way Jamarcus has come on years later and talked about like the real actual family struggle that he had going on inside of his head and the real substance abuse which he acknowledged and where he's at now in his life versus then. And to see Johnny like this whole flipping out, he was looking for someone to feel empathy for him. Yep. And honestly, straight up. This is my uncle taught me this way back in the day. You're either a victim or you're someone who's going to proactively change your life. To me, I looked at Johnny and I go, this guy's going to have more problems than the rest of his life because he truly hasn't embraced. He still wants to be a victim.
He still wants to be a victim, and he's not a victim. He had everything he had. He had everything he wanted. Even his agent pissed for him at the draft combine to pass the drug test.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
then bailed on him at the first sight.
Me and Anna, we watched that last night. I was like, this kid. What this kid, dude? He's not going to figure it out. He
makes
still
you angry,
got problems with his dad, but his dad is even.
Dad,
I look at his dad.
exactly.
It's like you're an enabler too.
Exactly.
You're an enabler too. And then he doesn't talk to his best friend. He cuts him off right away. You enabled your best friend to do some of the things for you. So forget Johnny Manziel. I'm
sorry. I saw comparisons between you, like, oh, Johnny and Trey flaming out. I'm like, what?
Nah, forget. Well, who said that? Is anybody credible said Trey Lance is like Johnny Manziel?
I saw that online, like a lot of rhetoric.
Forget who's who. It could be some guy with 5 followers tweeting Trey Lance is fun. Who cares? Nobody credible in their right mind is going to compare Trey Lance to Johnny Manziel because of one strip club video where he was throwing some money as a 22-year-old. Hell, I'm 40 and I still want to throw some money in a strip club. What the hell does that mean? You're immature? Please, you want to have a little fun. Anyway.